Oh, seal free thinkers. Now, I'm going to share some information about the plane crash that happened in Washington, D.C. that the mainstream media is ignoring. Okay, many of you may have sensed something strange about these events, and I felt it too, but probably not in the way some people might think. Now, I would like to take a moment to honor a dear friend of our 13% community who tragically lost her life in the plane crash near Ronald Reagan Airport in Washington, D.C. Her name was Kia Duggins. Kia earned her JD from Harvard Law School and was a dedicated civil rights attorney at the Civil Rights Corps. She worked tirelessly to challenge unconstitutional policing, police misconduct, and money bail practices, addressing the harms of the criminal legal system across California, Texas, Tennessee, and Washington, D.C. Kia had previously worked for various law firms in this field and was just about to begin her new role as a law professor at Howard University in Washington, D.C. She was only 30 years old, had no children, and was on the verge of starting an exciting new chapter in her life. Before I continue, I want us all to observe a moment of silence in her memory. Wado to all of you all for doing that with me for her, okay? Now, I assume most of you have already seen the replay of the plane crash in DC, so let's move on to my first point, which concerns the interaction between air traffic control, the Black Hawk chopper, and the American Airlines commercial jet. If you don't know by now, the American Airlines plane was attempting to land at Ronald Reagan Airport, crossing the Potomac River in Arlington, Virginia. While doing so, the Black Hawk military chopper got in the way of its path to land, and they collided. Some of you asked me why the Black Hawk chopper will be flying so low to the ground. Having been born and raised in DC, I have many sources that have kept me informed about the military activities in the area since Trump's first term in office. Over the years, the military presence on the ground and in the air has increased significantly in and around DC. Therefore, seeing helicopters flying extremely close to the terrain has become routine, happening around the clock, day and night. What is concerning to me is this audio that I'm about to play of air traffic control attempting to inform the Black Hawk that it is flying in the sight of the CRJ, which is the American Airlines jet.
Pat 25, get the CRJ in flight. Pat 25, pass on this CRJ.
Seconds go by, and then we hear an inaudible speech from someone. Then even more critical seconds go by. We hear the voice of the pilot of the American Airlines jet saying something important that I couldn't make out the first time without cleaning up the audio, which I'll do in a second.
American 4782 by Pat, now for individual.
Then we hear the air traffic controller respond to him, and in the background, we hear the reaction from his co-workers who witnessed the crash in real time.
American 472, Washington Star, 1 star, 32017.
All right, now that I have explained each part of the audio, listen to the playback again. This time, I have enhanced the audio and added captions. Timestamp this part of the video with your comments below, and let me know if you notice anything wrong.
Pat 25, get the CRJ in flight. Pat 25, pass on this CRJ. American 4782 by Pat, now for individual. American 472, Washington Star, 1 star, 32017. Did you see that? 472. American 3130, go around some left end 250, climb maintain 3000. Left end 350, 3000, American 3130.
Tower, Blue Street, 5347 is on final request, runway 33, circle to 33. Managing reckon 3130.
3130, go on, so left and 270, maintain 3000.
270, heading 3000.
Now, here's what I find to be a problem. First, Tower is asking, not telling, asking Pat 25, which is the Black Hawk, if it has the CRJ in sight.
Pat 25, the CRJ in sight.
Then 2 or 3 seconds later, Tower instructs Pat 25 to pass behind CRJ.
Pat 25, pass behind the CRJ.
Then nearly 5 seconds later, we hear an inaudible speech, either from Tower or the Black Hawk. It sounds like the voice of the air traffic controller.
Pat 25, pass behind the CRJ.
More about this in a second. Then too much time goes by, about 10 seconds, before we hear the American Airlines commercial jet pilot informing Tower that his map does not have visuals.
American 4782 by Pat, software and visual.
Then Tower immediately attempted to notify the pilot of the Black Hawk's location, but it was too late.
American 472, watch star 1 star 32017.
In my opinion, this air traffic controller needs his ass needs to be fired immediately, because he should have notified the American Airlines pilot soon after he did or did not get an immediate response from the Black Hawk. His job is to watch the traffic in the skies to prevent these things from occurring. When we heard the American Airlines pilot inform Tower that his map did not have visuals, he overheard Tower attempting to instruct the Black Hawk out of his way, being as though Tower had previously cleared him to land. So he wondered why his map, better known as TCAS or Traffic Alert and Collision Avoidance System, was not warning him of an aircraft being a possible threat of a mid-air collision. The TCAS system operates independently from air traffic control. It functions as a transponder, picking up the radio frequencies of other aircraft equipped with this collision avoidance system, which that chopper should have. This capability allows aircraft to communicate their locations to each other, informing the pilots of nearby planes. So coincidentally, neither one of theirs was working. There was no bad weather, clear skies. I can understand how a commercial jet cannot see another aircraft without assistance, because it is 10 times larger than that chopper. But the Black Hawk couldn't see the bright collision lights of the CRJ minutes before colliding with it. See, that's the part I'm not buying, even if it was on a clearance rack with a 50% off sticker. Somebody lying. Let's say the helicopter lost visual sight on its radar, but they had to have seen the airline plane was approaching. Military personnel are trained to eject themselves out of the helicopters, right? Just like what happened in Alaska the day after this DC plane crash, a Boeing jet pilot ejected himself mid-flight while the jet crashed. Not nosediving, by the way, but the pilot saved his life by safely parachuting to the ground. The occupants of the Black Hawk didn't have parachutes on board. They said 3 people were on board the Black Hawk, and according to their radio transmission, the rescue crew found them in the Potomac River.
May I meet up with you, please? I want to take 1. You can take 2, please.
Sure, I'm at row 4 gun, sir.
Copy.
EMS branch from Airport Fire Point 378.
Go ahead.
Per our conversation earlier, I just spoke with Command Center out here on the water. They advised, as far as they know, they have one body that was taken to DC. That is all they know so far. They'll confirm and get back with you.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Just to be clear, Ronald Reagan Airport is located in Arlington, Virginia, which is about 15, maybe 20 minutes away from DC. So Why did they have to take one of the bodies to DC and not all of them? That's strange. Did they manage to eject themselves? NBC News reported that local journalists spotted at least 4 survivors being pulled out of the Potomac River on January 29th. The next day, they mentioned that officials believed there were no survivors, changing their mind. That's strange. CNN was the first to play video footage of the crash because 2 Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority employees leaked the footage to them. This led to both employees being fired and arrested, and they are now facing charges. I'm not kidding. And they are now facing charges of computer trespass after allegedly making an unauthorized copy of the video. I mean, seriously? There are so many other things that are wrong with the situation, and I can and have pointed out who should be held responsible for not doing their jobs, but the people who leaked the footage get arrested and charged with crimes? How does that make any sense? Another thing is this: all of the reports about the audio are ignoring the part where air traffic control spends too much time not informing the pilot of the American Airlines jet that there is a threat of a mid-air collision. Keep in mind that it is their job to inform him of his surroundings, and they are also ignoring the part about the pilot reporting to Tower that his map didn't have any visuals, which also means that his collision alarms were not alerting him of an aircraft possibly being a threat to his airspace. Okay, everyone, let me jump in here. This is a few days after I originally recorded that video. This is the reason why I didn't bring out that video as quick as possible, because I wanted to investigate a few things so I can make sure everything is right. And I discovered some things that may seem strange, okay? In the audio that I played for you guys earlier, the American Airlines pilot that was indicating that his map was not running visual was American Airline 4782. Now, apparently that was the one that was in the accident. And now hear me out, because I know some of you all like, no, Dane, it's going to be flight 5342. Now keep in mind, flight 5342 wasn't even in the audio. In fact, to confirm that, you could go back and listen to that audio, because I'm sure I played it a few times. I'm not going to play it again, but it's in this video. You're going to hear another pilot come up and say, Tower, did you see that? That was 4782. He definitely says that. Now, that's the part that all of these news people are clipping out. They're clipping out the beginning part of the conversation that Tower had with that American Airline flight 4782. Okay, now you would think that that's not important, but it is, because I'm going to show you something. Let me at least show you the audio real quick, and then I'm going to show you something of why that's important. So not only did flight 4782 tell Tower that, you know, his map wasn't running visual, he also didn't hear anything else from him in that recording, as if he was the one that collided with the Black Hawk. Now, another pilot came in and said, Tower, did you see that? That was flight 4782. He did not say 5342. Okay, and that was in the recording. Now, I want y'all to hear how they dawned this audio up and where they're starting.
Did you see that?
476. American 3130, go around.
See, even right there, he's actually saying it right in the beginning. When that pilot came in and said, Tower, did you see that? He's letting you know that that was 4782 right behind that. Listen.
Did you see that?
476. American 31.
See, and they didn't.
Go around, turn left and 25.
They're not putting the caption up. I put the caption up. The system that I'm using, which is Adobe Premiere. Adobe Premiere has an AI function that allows captions to auto-generate. Now the captions came up and clearly said 4782. Now keep in mind where they're starting at. You're going to know that he was talking about 4782 because 4782 talked to Tower or contact the tower right before that crash happened. This is after the crash happened.
472. American 3130, go around, turn left end 250, climb maintain 3000.
Okay, left heading 350, 3000, American 3130.
Lucy 5347, go around, climb maintain 3000, flight
3000, heading, go around 3000, Blue Streak 5347.
Blackjack 3, can you return to base? Blackjack 3, proceed directly to Glebe. I need you to land. I need you to land immediately. Can you go to Dulles for a few minutes?
Now, I don't have that portion, but I do have all the rest of that. You guys heard that earlier, but I don't have to play this, but I just want to play a clip of that to let you guys know that they have the exact same audio.
Let's see for 342, that's Wilson Bridge, thanks for runway 33, runway 33, clear to land.
Did you see that?
472. American 3130, go around, turn left.
Did you see that?
472. American 31.
That was 4782. He clearly says that.
472.
That was 4782. 4782 is how he said it.
Did you see that?
472. American 3130, go around, turn left end 250, climb maintain 3000.
Blackjack 3, can you return to base?
Okay, so now, all right, now let me get to another point. I don't know why they're trying to switch flights. They're hiding something. So when I went on to search the history of the flight, okay, now this is critical. Like, you're supposed to be able to know the history of what's going on with this flight. I'm gonna pull this up. So when I searched the flight, American Airlines 4782, right? I want you to notice something. Now, this is where they're tracking it. This is a bunch of trackers, right? Notice how Sky News popped up with that. Wait, crash me. All right, American 4782. We're on. Huh? Wait. Did they report that at first? 1 second. This is live. Let me see where they say 4782. Wait, controller, go around, maintain American 3530, American 472, cancel. Clarifying what you want 478 to do. We're going around. Nah, that's not in the audio. All right, American 4782, we're on the go. We're going to climb through. No. This is not in the audio at all. Hold on, let me double check that. This is only 41 seconds.
See that?
472. American 3130, go around, turn left end 250, climb maintain 3000.
Okay, left heading 350, 3000, American 3130.
Lucy 5347, go around, climb maintain 3000.
That was 3130.
Flight
3000, heading, go around 3000, Blue Streak 5347.
5347 and 3130.
Blackjack 3, proceed directly to Glebe. I need you to land. I need you to land immediately. Can you go to Dulles for a few minutes? Muscle 7, proceed due westbound. Contact Dulles Tower 120.1. Muscle 13, can you go to Baltimore?
That's it. Ooh, they lying. Woo! Let me find out I caught them. Because look, when I pull up American Airlines 4782, right? I'm gonna open it in a new tab. They can't find it. They don't got no data. None on this flight, y'all. Look, hold up. Let's just double check. A couple of them. No history data, search last 14 days. I don't know why the tracking history of this particular flight is gone. That's odd. Hold on, let me check this site. No history? Why would a commercial jet not have any data? That's weird. Let me see. 4782, St. Louis, Missouri to Chicago. Saturday, January 4th, 2025. And you mean to tell me those other sites couldn't pick that up? Man, they got to be hiding something. Man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That's a little odd for them to say, that it's a totally different flight number. Okay, AA4782, Washington to Cleveland. What? This was back in June. So the history was here. June 2024. Yeah. Okay. So what they did was they flipped the numbers of the flight because that's not in the recording. And that's probably why they're skipping the beginning of that. Because in the beginning, the pilot is indicating that his map is out. The collision warning system was out. Okay. Why would that be? They all are CRJ 700s. That's not the point. The point was that they're giving us flight 5342, and this was actually 4782, according to the audio. The same audio that all of us are using, except for they're skipping that beginning part. And also when they reported, like for example, when they reported, this one has a timeline, right? Okay. They're saying, all right, flight 5342 begins Ronald Reagan, right? Pat, do you have the CRJ in sight? Pat 25, that's the chopper. And then he said, pass behind CRJ. Then they're indicating that the pilot came back and said visual separation, and that wasn't even in the audio at all. We did not hear him state any of that. And then they said about 20 seconds later, they crashed into each other. They're skipping a whole bunch of stuff right here. Yeah, Let me give my opinion about this now. I'm gonna go ahead and continue the other video. In my opinion, this appears to have been a deliberate act. We still don't know the names of everyone who was on board the commercial plane, but it seems like a person or two might have been important enough for someone or somebody to have the means to eliminate them. Reports indicate that it may take days to recover the bodies from the freezing waters of the Potomac River, and we may not get any answers until then. But leave a comment and tell me what you think of this. I will monitor this and follow up if I find something worth sharing. My wife and I are also investigating the small medical plane crash that nosedived in a residential area in Pennsylvania and appeared to resemble a missile. Either way, I want you to stay alert, stay aware, and stay healthy and successful. I'll see you. What else? I'm just here to make you think.
Yeah, DNA.